Well, hello and welcome back to the channel, but just in case you're new here, my name is Mike, and in this video, I'm going to be giving my initial first thoughts on the freshly announced, as of yesterday, brand new Predator figure to grace all of our shelves. So for all of you Yautja fans, just like myself, we are finally getting the Prey Feral Predator from last year's movie. And yes, I know it's not Ultimate Wolf, at least not yet, so we can stop texting and messaging Neca every 2 seconds of the day, because I fully believe in my heart that it's coming, but not yet. But until we get there, let's talk about this one right here. So without further ado, let's slice right into it. Alright everybody, so let's go ahead and head on over to Neca Online, their official website, so we can take a closer look at some of the promotional photos for the brand new Feral Predator figure. Alright, so as you can see, the first picture we have here is the Predator with his skeleton biomask on and part of the shield, which is not fully unraveled or extended, if you will. This shot I absolutely love. I think he looks super accurate from his feet all the way up to his helmet. The dreads look really cool. The dreadlocks look almost like some of them might be clumped together, and they might not be all individual loose pieces that you can kind of sort however which way you want. But that's actually quite alright with me, and I know there's other Predator figures in the past. I know the McFarlane ones from back in the day, the Movie Maniacs ones, were certainly like that, so that doesn't really much bother me. This is just a great photo, super accurate from top to bottom. No issues with this one whatsoever. Alright, the next photo we're going to take a look at here is more of a side shot. We really get to see his dreads in full display, and yes, definitely some of them appear to be lumped together, which again is not really a problem for me. I don't care so much. We get a much better look at his paint application on his chest and the side of his face, more where his mandibles are, which I believe he will come with exchangeable mandibles, which is another really cool feature that I really enjoy. Again, really no issues with that picture whatsoever. Super accurate. I'm really liking what I'm seeing with that photo there. The next photo is obviously him with his shield fully extended and fully unraveled, and probably my favorite promotional photo of the entire figure set. You really get to see the details in his skull biomask and all the details and little intricacies in his shield. It just looks absolutely stunning. I'm probably going to display him with the shield solely based on this photo and how amazing the details look in that shield. They're just absolutely stunning. Alright, the next photo I want to take a closer look at here, you guys, is this one right here, because there has been a lot of chatter, of course, in the last 24 hours about this figure, and there's been a lot of positive, a lot of people are super excited, but there's also been a very big dose of people that are kind of shitting all over this and don't think it's all that good looking. And I particularly don't see anything super negative about it, but I've taken the last, less than 24 hours, but I've taken all last night and this morning, all day at work, really thinking about this figure and trying to pinpoint exactly what people's issues are with it. Because, people just want to type negative to be negative, and they don't really give you any real reason as to what their gripes are. But I think I pinned it down to a couple things. So in this image in particular, I don't know why, but just looking at this picture, just from the torso, just the body, I'm not talking about the head, even the arms, really so much the legs, his armor, just something about that body. If you were to tell me this was a NECA Ultimate figure, I don't know if I'd believe it. Like, there's just something about the paint application that throws me off. I don't know if it's because it's super shiny, and I would assume that's supposed to reflect the Predator being slimy, scaly and whatnot, but the Predators aren't really, they're not slimy creatures, do you know what I mean? So I'm not sure, or maybe it's just the camera, the way it picked up. I don't think the figure, personally, I don't think the figure is going to be that shiny upon release. I think the figure is going to be darker. I don't think it's going to truly look like that. So I would just chalk that up to a camera thing. I would not hold I wouldn't hold NECA to that. So I've seen some complaints about that. I wouldn't hold it to that. But yeah, the torso of this figure just screams almost like an old Kenner Predator figure to me. I'm not sure why. Something about his elbow joint there. Well, not so much the elbow joints, because the old school Kenners, they didn't even really have articulation in the elbows. But in particular, that torso just screams, for some reason, old school Kenner paint app to me. I'm not sure why. Does anybody else feel that? Another thing I think that's really throwing people off with this Predator is his paint scheme seems to be a little bit dark, at least in comparison to this photo that I had dug up, that they took on set, while filming Prey. This photo here, it really is a lot lighter than the figure. The brown on this figure seems to be a much darker shade and tone of brown than the actual figure, or from the actual costume, on set. But again, the Predator, if he's seen at nighttime or the sun's down, and they obviously darken the suit and they grime the suit up for a lot of scenes, so that might be where they're coming from on that sense. But I think the shade of brown could definitely be throwing people off, because there's something about that torso and that paint app that's throwing me off. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, it's just throwing me off just a tiny, tiny bit. All right, now fast forwarding a couple, now we're going to look at the back of the Predator here. This is one of my favorite shots, again, that they put out on the website. All those dark black spotting on his back, his shoulders, his thighs. That's all straight accurate to the creature on film. He had very heavy black, like freckling on his shoulders and his back. I do remember that very, very well. The red streak down his back, his spine area. Very, very accurate to the film. I really love this shot. I really love the little skull he has hanging on his armor there, like his belt loop. I don't know what you call that. I've always called that an ass flap. But his armor, his armor ass flap. He's got the two skulls there. He had those in the film. And again, I'm looking at the back of his knees here. It looks to be double jointed, so this is going to be a very posable figure. I can tell you that right now. His ankle joints look a little strange. I can't tell if those are ball joints. They don't look like seesaw joints to me because of the bandages, because of the wraps by his ankles. But either way, the back of this figure looks fucking phenomenal. Again, one of my favorite shots. I'm really, really, really enjoying this figure right now, you guys. I really am thinking this thing looks super, super cool. So moving on to this photo. Now this is the golden shot. This is what everybody was commenting on. This is the a face only a mother can love shot. I mean, looking at this figure in this photo, it's not a bad looking figure. I like the details. It looks like a really, really great figure, and I really like it. As far as the face goes, I don't think this is a NECA thing. I don't blame NECA for this and why he looks like a fucking... he just doesn't look good. He looks off. Just looks offset, off-putting. I don't blame NECA for that. I think this is just strictly a design thing. I wasn't a major fan, of the Predator's face in the movie in Prey. Although I thought Prey was a great movie, I wasn't a huge fan of the face of the Predator. I understand they wanted to do something different, and I can understand that, and I can respect that. But between this photo and this next photo, I mean, his face is just rough looking. I mean, but it looks accurate, though, and I got to give NECA that. It looks accurate. Again, looks very shiny, looks very pasty, like fish-like. I'm not really quite sure. Again, I really think that's just a camera thing. I truly believe when we get this figure in hand, I think it's going to be much more toned down. I don't think it's going to be as shiny. I don't think it's going to look oiled up or greasy. And again, the body, I see a lot of people talking about it. The body was throwing them off, and I understand. I can see what they're saying. But you know what I honestly believe it is if you compare this, looking at this body, this torso, compare that paint app to all the other Predators that we've had. All the other Predators, they have much more complicated, they have much more diverse color palettes on their chest. There's so many more colors, and there's so many different spots and designs and everything like that. This guy is kind of pretty straightforward with his color schemes. There's not as much articulation there in the paint application area. So that's where I think people are going with this figure. I think it just looks different than the other Predators, and it's a little bit off-putting in that sense. He doesn't have the fishnet or anything like that, but Again, I don't really see any major complaints with this figure. Yeah, his mask being off, he looks weird, but that's a creature design and not a NECA flaw, in my personal opinion. Not fault NECA whatsoever. I also wanted to highlight this photo here. This is again one of my favorite photos from the photo shoot here. You can really see the detail in his biomask, in the shield. He's got his wrist blades on full display. He's got the spear. This looks really cool. I love this shot here. The dreadlocks look great. Really digging this figure. He's kind of in the shadows a little bit on this one. Really cool looking figure. I cannot say enough good things about this figure in terms of that photo alone. Again, I don't have any real negatives about this. I just wanted to get my first initial thoughts out there. You know, yeah, a little off-putting here and there with the face and maybe some of the paint application. Like I said, maybe he's too dark in spots but too light in others. But other than that, I mean, it's not even a real complaint. It's just me being open and honest. And again, in hand, this thing's going to look different. This is a prototype shot, so just keep all that in mind when looking at this figure. All right, you guys. And the last photo I want to take a look at here is, of course, there's no background, there's no fancy camera work. It's just straight up. It's the figure and all of his accessories and all the great weaponry that this figure is going to bring to the table, you guys. This guy is scheduled to release. Estimated release date is going to be September of this year, September 2023. And of course, it's going to be an Ultimate figure, and it's going to be 7-inch scale, just like all the other Predators. And this badass guy is going to come with, of course, his biomask, a spear gun, the open and collapsed spears, open and collapsed shield, and interchangeable hands, as well as mandibles. And of course, he's going to come in the collector-friendly 5-panel packaging with opening front flap. So there you go, guys. That is a closer look at the Feral Predator figure and my initial thoughts. So there you go, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that first look and my initial thoughts on the Prey Feral Predator figure. Now, of course, this was announced in NECA's 31 Frights of Night back in October, but now we got the official announcement and we got a full look at the figure and all of the great accessories that come with it. But of course, the whole point of this video is not only for you guys to see the photos, which you can do yourself, but for us to discuss what your thoughts are on this figure. Are you going to get this figure? Did you maybe already even pre-order this figure? Because if you don't know, all your favorite toy retailers already have this guy up for pre-order. Big Bad Toy Store, Inside Collector, they're all up there. Go ahead and type it in on the Google machine and you're guaranteed to find it. He is up for pre-order right now. So are you going to pre-order this figure? Do you like this figure? Pros of this figure and cons of this figure. Let me know everything down in the comment section below. It really means a lot to me, you guys. And if you want to, you can also follow me on Instagram. Link in the description for that. But until next time, you guys, I just want to remind you that my name is Mike. And this is my design.